Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at the Utah Valley University. Bruh, I don't know what he was thinking, but if you see where he was out in the open, and there had to be like 2 to 3,000 people out there.
Yeah, I saw it.
Easily. When I heard about him getting shot, somebody online, friend of mine, and then there's a friend of mine who has actually gone to protest against him at these tours of his. And I inboxed her. I said, yo, you heard what happened to your guy. And then I said, of course, I know you know what happened because she stays on top of all this stuff. She sends me the video. She said he's probably DOA. And when I saw the video, I said, she's probably right.
Yeah, I thought.
I got feelings on this, but I just want to get your initial thoughts on this.
Terrible thing. I mean, a shooting, an assassination, a violence is a terrible thing. Charlie Kirk is somebody who I stayed away from because, if you're somebody who stays abreast of the media like I do, he was hard to escape. But I did my best to not even interact with what he had to say because it was a lot of hate speech as far as I was concerned.
Yeah,
and he was one of these guys who used a very smooth delivery to deliver hateful messages of misinformation, and those guys are dangerous, and I don't care for them. That said, I was when this happened, one thing I gave him props for, other than some other people, just like he was. Now, granted, I would imagine if you were to ask him, tell him you're going to get shot one day, guess where it'll be? I'm sure Utah Valley State would probably been low on the list.
Yeah, that'd been low.
I'm sure that would have been like his 100th guess. However, the way you saw where he was, like sitting right there.
Yeah, he was sitting right there. Yeah,
I give him props for having a microphone and saying, "Come at me." I'll give him props for that. That was about the only positive thing I could say about him from what I know, other than the fact, family man, has kids, all of that stuff. But we live in if I'm completely honest about my initial feelings about Charlie Kirk, is that I was shocked. I was upset a little bit that we're living in a time when this type of thing can happen so easily, although it's happened throughout U.S. history. I don't know why I'm saying we're living in the time to do that. But then also, I'm not shedding any tears for the fact that his message isn't going to be spread by him anymore. I thought he's a very dangerous individual.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. For me, this is the way I keep looking at it. I have nothing nice to say about the guy. When I saw it, I said, Charlie Kirk has died. Left it at that. I don't feel the need to tell people that I don't condone violence, and the people that I know you don't condone violence, Howard. I know all that, So I'm not even going to say, I can't even say rest in peace. This is the same guy that said George Floyd was a scumbag. This is the same guy that when Pelosi got attacked, that he said that guy is a true patriot. Somebody needs to pay his bill. This guy has blamed Black Lives Matter on what happens to them, basically saying that any black person that gets shot by the police more than likely deserved it. I have nothing that I can say nice about him. I don't want to give thoughts and prayers. This guy was evil. And if people think that I'm celebrating, no, I'm not celebrating, but I'm sorry. The way that he talked to black, he didn't like me. If that had happened to anybody black, he would be saying something cold and cruel. He used any type of violence against black people, anything, to put us down. He's one of those guys that looked at DEI saying he won't get on a plane with a black pilot.
Right.
This guy was pure evil. He created what happened to him yesterday.
Yeah.
He
Well,
created
I mean,
that. He created
well,
that.
that's the only reason I give the guy
Yeah.
some props, because he's not like what's my man's name? God, I can't think of his name.
Who's that?
Never mind. I'll think
All
of it.
right,
He's not like a lot of these Republican talking heads or activists, so to speak, who aren't willing to go out there. They'll get on Fox News and say their piece and then go off somewhere else. But he went out there and you karma's a bitch. I mean, it catches up with you after a while.
He put himself in a dangerous spot, man. That was cocky to be outside, to think that, like you said, he's at Utah Valley State. He's figuring, hey, nothing happened to me here.
Right.
Nothing. And now you got the conspiracy theories going on. You see the video, they show the guy that's on the rooftop with the gun, but there's a video where they keep showing the two guys that are beside it. The guy on his left in a dark shirt, they said he does something with his arm. He takes his right hand and brushes down his left arm. Then they show the guy to Charlie Kirk's right, and this guy does something in his head after that guy does it, and they're saying that those are signals. I'm not saying that those are signals at all, but what I am tripping off is the fact that was a security risk. He's at the point where people around him should have been saying, look, you're pissing a lot of people off, and you're starting to piss off white people too. And these guys usually feel, like he said, they're patriots. They're doing the right thing. What happened to him, this whole thing that happened to him, yes, that is tragic. You don't want to see anything like that. I am sorry that it happened. His family, those people around him, they enable that type of attitude that he has. So I'd have nothing to say to them about it. The best way that I've been trying, I think other people need to try as well, just say, look, this is what happened, and move on. But if I say that move on and somebody attacks my character, says I'm celebrating it, I'm going to say, well, hold up, this is what to say, because somebody like Couch, man, you're just going to say he died? What else am I supposed to say? Rest in peace? No.
Yeah.
No, he didn't say that to George Floyd. All these GOP guys always say thoughts and prayers.
That MAGA dude killed the whole family. Yeah, the congressperson. I mean, they killed the whole family.
Yeah.
And there wasn't any, the great outpouring of. I mean, there was an outpouring from some of us, but Trump has them putting the flags at half staff.
That's bullshit. This guy is not. This has no. The fact that they're putting out white nationalists, they're putting that at half flag, at half mast, is insulting.
Absolutely. So that's that.
And them Simple Simon Negroes won't even say nothing about that crap.
No. Well, that's the problem. And what I'm seeing, one of the reasons why I didn't go to my high school had a reunion a couple of weeks ago. One of the reasons I didn't go. Because what do I see on Facebook this morning? Some people who I know who are like just lamenting, not the fact that there was violence in America or anything like that we've lost this great American.
He's not a great American.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
He's not.
I agree. But when you tell me that, I don't want anything to do with you. Yeah. That's your view. Because this guy has some of the worst. Saying why he's dangerous is because this dude. This isn't like the guy with the wife beater on and 3 teeth, drinking a Pabst Blue Ribbon, talking about the N-word and this type of thing.
Nah.
He's a clean-cut, articulate, educated guy who comes out and says stuff, and he says some of the worst, most hateful things in the world.
Yeah.
And what tells me what really, one of the biggest things that I've learned over this Trump era or MAGA era, whatever you want to say, over the last 8 to 10 years, is that it seems as though that if you politely talk about white supremacy, a lot of people are all right with it.
And yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I mean, they're just like he didn't say, f them n words and da da da,
yeah,
but he said that this guy George Floyd is a scumbag and all these things. I'm not going to get in a plane with a black pilot, and DEI is
yeah,
destroying our country and all of that kind of
yeah.
stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, Charlie Kirk's all right with me.
And that's the shit that pisses me off. I'm like, so people want to, turn this political violence. I look at this as more as racial discord due to political statements and moralities of the lack of morality of people like that. Because I think that's more accurate. Because the dude wasn't about really political size. He was just a white nationalist. His whole viewpoint was being a white nationalist. Dude felt that a person being killed was worth it for our Second Amendment. The dude was an asshole, and he wasn't a Christian. And all those people who were talking about we lost a great American, you're a white nationalist too. Because if you think that guy was a great American, that means you really embrace all of the ideology that he had. That's it. You are racist. They need to stop making this political left and right. No, this is morality. This is about morals. This is about how you look at other people and how you choose to either respect them or not. This guy, I hate that it happened. I hate what happened, but I am shedding no tears at all for this guy. And for those who are saying he was a good guy, F you. Because you don't care about me. And like you just said, it's because he's in a suit. He's nice. There's this video of him in a suit sitting there calling this black cop the N-word. He just kept calling it. Cop couldn't do anything. Kept calling it. If the cop would have done something, he would have lost his job, blah, blah, blah. But he kept doing it. But what pissed me off is that the people around him, the other cops, the white cops, they didn't say stop. Nobody around him said stop. That's one of those situations when I wish I was there. I said, dude, why do you keep doing it? The dude was an antagonist. Look.
That's what he was a provocateur. And that will catch up to you, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Or fortunately, it'll catch up to you if you keep it up.
Yeah.
But I like I said, I just think the guy was dangerous because he just spread misinformation, and because we have such a poorly educated, poorly informed population. He got a lot of traction on stuff that was just bogus. I mean, you're seeing a bunch of clips today. I saw another clip where he was talking to, where he was doing the "prove me wrong" thing, and he was telling the young sister who was confronting him about George Floyd. He was saying that Derek Chauvin should be pardoned. Because George Floyd died of a fentanyl overdose. And he says this is what the coroner said in his report. Well, that's not what the coroner said in his report.
No.
And in the trial, he said, like he always used to quote, this is why he's a very dangerous guy. The coroner was asked in the trial by the Chauvin's attorney, if none of this had happened and George Floyd had just been, not been messed with, not been arrested, would he have died because of the drugs that were in him? And he said, in that hypothetical, he had a lot of fentanyl in him. I don't know, he's like, it was a lethal dose for some. It could have been a lethal dose, but that's not what killed him.
Yeah.
We went on to say what killed him was the choking that he had on the ground.
Charlie Kirk took that one part out of context.
Yeah, he took that one part out.
Yeah.
And he kept repeating it. And what bothers me is that because many people who try to confront him don't have all the information, he knows that. So he'll throw some information at them. Like I saw him on that thing, on a Jubilee thing.
I was going to say the Jubilee, yeah.
And he was like saying, oh, well, black people are 13% of the population, but they're over half of the prison population. That's not true. That's just not true. There are about 60% of the prison population are white people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, and he would throw out these things, these statistics, but if you're not ready, where you don't have that to come back at him with, which he knows you don't,
Right.
it makes it sound like, oh, I'm right,
Right.
you know.
Right.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
and that would piss me off too, because I'm sitting there watching Jubilee when he was going through that. I'm like, dude, say this. The dude is lying, and you can easily debunk his lies, but he puts himself in a situation where he knows he's going against people who just don't have as much information as he does.
right,
And
right.
you know, like I said, he was to put himself in that position, that situation. I thought he was very arrogant and cocky. He thinks that nobody was going to come after him, and now he's no longer with us. But once again, he died. You know, don't want to see anybody, you know, get shot or if anything of that nature. But I'm not going to say rest in peace to that guy, nor am I giving thousands of prayers to his family.
Well, you know, the president today said that you know, he's already blaming it on the radical left.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I'm waiting. I just want them to catch this guy alive, whoever did it, guy, girl, whatever, whoever. I want them to catch him alive. I just want to know, because I'm good for one little conspiracy theory. Because recently, Charlie Kirk broke with Trump about the Epstein files. Then a few days ago, when Trump was like, "This is a dead issue," blah blah blah, Charlie Kirk says, "Okay, I'm done talking about Epstein. I'm not talking about it anymore." Okay. Now, I said this first thing, where the shooting took place, the person who did it is obviously white.
Utah Valley University.
Yeah. Nobody with even a suntan was going to be able to get up on a roof with a gun there. That wouldn't happen without somebody asking, "Where's that motherfucker going?"
Yeah, how he got into the building. Yeah.
And so that's fine, but they're people can get shot for all kinds of reasons.
Right.
I mean, who knows? He might have been having an affair with some woman, and it was the husband. You never know.
Never know.
People get shot for all kinds of reasons.
Yeah, you're right.
But if it's a political reason, my thing is that maybe I'm looking at the super MAGA, QAnon, pedophile ring people who are like, you know, maybe Charlie Kirk is part of the, you know, he's talking about forget the Epstein files. You know, I don't know. You know, but I want him to catch whoever it was. Yeah. Because I would also, what pissed me off about what Trump said about, you know, the radical left. Because like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he got shot for personal reasons too. I mean, that shit happens.
Yeah.
That
and
there aren't a whole lot of, I'm sorry, they're not a whole lot. If this had been like somebody who ran up on stage and shot him, it could have been anybody, the radical left or anybody. But and not a whole lot of freaking sharpshooters on the radical left. I'm sorry. We don't even, there aren't a whole lot of people who are like.
And most of the people that get pissed, they want to get in Charlie Kirk's face and let him know how they feel. Yeah, so that's why.
I don't know about this.
Yeah, the occupant, I mean, he's talking about there's going to be a crackdown on political violence. This dude, he needs to begin by looking in the mirror. Right. You know, he is the cause of this. Yeah. And putting the flag at half mast for this guy, that just adds to it. And then this dude, look, to all these Simple Simon Negroes, this dude just declared war on Chicago. Not only that, the Supreme Court has basically said that stop and frisk is okay, that ICE can pull people over if they look or sound like they're south of the border. That's racist as fuck. This Supreme Court is racist. So it's not racist. It's not racist. It is racist when you look at DEI and affirmative action. But it's not racist to be able to be racially profiled.
Well, obviously, what I want to know is, insane. And like I said, I'm not, you know, I am far from. This isn't even going to be a dry snitch. I'm far from snitch. I'm just going to say, I was once. I was married to a Lithuanian woman at one time in my life earlier, and I got to know the Eastern European community, at least in the DC area, pretty well.
Okay.
And I'm here to tell you that there were several illegal aliens among the Eastern, not my ex, but among the Eastern European community.
Right.
I have yet to see one Caucasian. I just want one.
Just one.
I just want one who's getting handcuffed.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
By a masked person. Let me see a white person getting handcuffed by a masked person.
Right.
And then I'll say, okay, you're going after everybody. But I haven't seen a one.
It's not one. And what they just did to that Hyundai plant was the dumbest shit in the world. So you want to go in there and make a statement with ICE and round up 400 legal people there that are working at a plant that supplies over 8,000 jobs. So you go in there and you fuck with the people who make the investment. They not only say, okay, you want to roll like that? We're going to shut the plant down. So you went in there, this person tried to go in there that, I believe there's a particular congresswoman that kind of made that happen. That's her district. So you went in there to try to make a point. But now you know what you did? You effed over all your constituents. Everybody in that town is going to miss out because now those jobs, those 8,000 plus jobs are going to be gone. They had billions in investments, South Korea, Hyundai, in investments in that place. And because these dudes do this crap right here, now those people are going to miss out. So, yeah, man, the stuff that's going on. I'm not shocked that people are getting upset and pissed at the way they are. You know, it's something that me and other people have spoke about before. And we said when you start seeing people that are on the extreme right, you know, Charlie Kirk, Alex Jones, you start seeing these guys, things start happening to them. It's because people are getting a little tired of this. And now when you see everything's happening with the economy, and how people are starting to go bankrupt. You look at all these things with farmers going under, and then you find out about J.D. Vance having an investment in this company that swoops up old farms that have been that have been foreclosed on. You're just looking at all of this as the Hunger Games, and when are people going to wake the F up?
I don't know.
You know, like I said, what does woke mean, people? It means being aware of the bullshit. So anybody that you say is woke, they have a better understanding on what is going on than you do. And finally, today is Thursday, 24th anniversary of 9/11, a day that that day, I'll never forget it, man. And I know you know exactly what was going on. Me and my wife, we were living in Bethesda at the time. She was had a postdoc over at NIH. And we was arguing about something stupid, getting in the car. And so turn on Russ Parr as usual so I can go drop off. And I'm listening. I said, hold up, babe. Something's going on. Because, you know, Russ Parr, that was his show. You know, you just got something funny going on, all that. But it was very news focused. And I believe everybody was listening to Russ Parr that day because he gave the best coverage of it. When I found out what was going on, I said, oh, shit. I said, babe, maybe you shouldn't go to work. You know, I'm thinking that's a government facility. I don't know what's going on. Maybe you shouldn't go to work. And I will never forget how empty 495 was that day. I had to go, I think I had to go up to, Bowie. And I'm just driving on 495. It was just empty. That was one of those days where you're just in shock the entire day. And for all those people that died and the first responders, I think today is a day where you take the time and you lower your flag at half-mast, not for that guy, Charlie Kirk. You lower it for those people that were there. This is one of those days where people need to really thank the first responders. And not only that, be grateful for where we are now, because that day was just, it was horrific. It was horrific, man.
It's almost like a dream. I mean, sometimes I just, when I think back on it, like on a day like today,
right,
I really confront just how shocking it was. I mean, you were talking about Russ Parr. It's kind of funny. It happened on a Tuesday. I remember it was a
Yep.
Tuesday
Yep.
because that was the day that we have our office meeting at the real estate office. I was in the Long and Foster office in Bethesda at the
Okay.
time.
All right.
And I had to take a contract to, this was when the market was really fast, like the bubble had just kind of started.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to take this offer to another real estate office down on Connecticut Avenue, in the middle of the meeting. And so I had to leave,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody came in and told our manager, our office manager, "Did you hear what happened?" She was like, "What?" She's like, "A plane hit the World Trade Center." So I'm thinking it's like a Cessna or something.
See, that's
You
what
know
I thought
I mean?
at first. Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, okay. So I get in the car. Now you were listening to Russ Parr.
Yeah.
I was listening to Howard Stern.
Okay.
so and Howard Stern is in New York.
Right.
Okay, that's where his show is coming from. And so I turn it on, and Howard Stern is saying, "We got to get off the air. We shouldn't be on the air right now. We got to get off the air." And I'm like, "What is this? What kind of bit is this?"
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wait, you said what kind of bit is it?
Yeah, I thought it was like what is he doing now? And so he had this guy, what was the guy's name? Crazy Cabbie or something. Some guy who used to call and do his show all the time. He was a cab driver in New York. And he's describing this just smoke everywhere and blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, wow, that's a trip. So it took me about 5 minutes to get to where I had to go from where my office.
Right.
So I go park, and I go up to the real estate office. No receptionist. There's nobody in there. So I go in, and I'm like, "Hello, is anyone here?" And I go to the back of the office, and there are about 15 people around this little TV set. And I'm like, "What happened?" And what is this? And then that's when I found out what happened.
Right.
So I was like, "Okay, wow." So the guy was like, "Look, we're not going to get contracts today. We'll do it, some other time." I'm like, "Okay, great."
And when the second one went through,
right,
woo,
right. So that's when. So when I got the car, turned back Stern back on, that's when the second one hit. And he was like, "Robin, I'm out of here. Rob, we got give it to the news guys or whatever. Our show isn't for this."
Yeah.
So he got off. Then when I got home, that's when the Pentagon got hit.
Yeah.
And I just remember, I was just like crazy. I was like, wow. So I pretty much kind of stayed in for the rest of the day.
I went and got a bunch of wine and liquor and just went back home. And I called my wife. I said, "Babe, I think you need to come home."
Right.
But she's a scientist. She had an experiment that she was working on. She's like, "I got to get this done." I'm like, the research can wait. But nope, she stayed there all day. She said, "I keep up with everything here." That's my wife. That's why I love her. She's going to see something through. So, but
yeah, well, I mean, no one thought. I mean, when I found out that it was a passenger plane that hit these towers, that was something else. But then, if you remember, about an hour later or some time later, then they came all the way down. That was a trip. I mean, when that whole thing was just
and that,
crazy.
What pissed me off about that, the conspiracy theorists, those people saying it was bombicide. And if you know anything about structural engineering, if you watch any video, this one guy I saw, this guy was talking about, he heated up a piece of steel, right? And then he was like, "See, this how it is." He goes back and forth with the steel, right? So, see, it was a conspiracy. They blew up inside. I said, "You fucking idiot." What you just proved was showing that, hey, look, the weight of that steel began to bend. So therefore you had all that weight at the top just getting ready to crash through. It's not a conspiracy. It's science. And that's probably one of the biggest things that has ticked me off. How people say it didn't happen. They talk about the conspiracy. I feel that that's insulting and disrespecting the people that went through it. It's just downright idiotic.
Absolutely.
And so when I saw all that, and you think back on the day, I try to think about, send spiritual strength to those who lost loved ones that day. Because every year they're going to be thinking about that. You think about the kids that were in the building. You do hear some good stories about how people got out, but that was a tragic day. And I hope everybody takes the time to remember it in some manner. So, anything else you got to say, my brother?
No, that's about it, man. It's been a wild week, and
Yeah, it has. It
he doesn't
has
seem to be slowing down any.
at all. So, but anyway, everybody, that's our chat for today. That's my man Howard. I'm Couch. Thank you so much. Please subscribe. Talk to you soon. Peace.
Bye bye.